Hi, my beautiful students. Now, in example 9 and 10, we're going to talk about how to multiply a binomial to a trinomial. So now we're going to be multiplying things that have, or polynomials that have 2 terms to polynomials that have 3 terms. Okay, well guess what, you guys? It is the same exact process that we have been doing. All you're doing is distributing several times. Okay, so you always start with the first term in your parenthesis, multiply to every single term in the second parenthesis, which in this case we have 3 terms. Then you move on to your next term, multiply it to every single number. So it's nothing different. We just have to distribute an extra time, which the more distributing you do, the better, right? I know, I agree too. Okay, well let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to start with my 2x, which remember, if you don't see an exponent, there's secretly a 1 in our exponents. Okay, so I'm going to multiply 2x to every single, sorry guys, goodness, every single term in my second parenthesis. Okay, so 2 times 4 gives me an 8. X to the first times x squared, well 1 plus 2 is 3, so it'd be x to the third. Okay, and then 2x times x, well there's secretly a 1 in front of my x if I don't see anything. So 2 times 1 gives me a positive 2. And x to the first times x to the first, well, 1 plus 1 is 2, so it'd be x squared. Okay, and then 2x times negative 6, well 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. And then I don't have anything to combine my x to, so guess what? I just bring on down that x. Bring it on down. Okay, and then I do the same thing with my second term. So I'm going to start with the negative 3 and multiply it to every single term in my second parenthesis. So negative 3 times 4x squared is negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. I don't have anything to combine to my x squared, so I'm just going to bring it on down. Negative 3 times 1x, well negative 3 times 1 is negative 3, and I don't have anything to combine my x to, so guess what? I'm just going to bring it on down. Okay, and then negative 3 times, sorry that's an arrow pointing to the negative 6, negative 3 times negative 6 is a positive 18. And then after this, you guys, all you do is combine your like terms, which remember, when we have one variable, we tend to like to write our answer in standard form. Okay, so I'm going to start with my highest exponent, which my highest exponent I see is an x to the third. So I'm going to start with an x to the third. Okay, which if you guys see, I don't have any more x to the third. So I have nothing to combine it to, which means I'm just going to bring it on down. So 8x to the third. Okay, the next highest exponent that I spot in the problem is an x squared. Okay, so I'm going to combine that to every other x squared in my problem, which the next x squared I see is this negative 12x squared. Okay, so I'm going to add the coefficients, or the numbers in front of my variables. So 2 minus 12 gives me a negative 10. And then remember, you don't touch the exponent. So I'm going to leave it as x squared. Okay? Alright, and then so that was those two. The next highest exponent that I see is going to be x to the first, which remember that's when you don't see an exponent. Okay, so these two are the x to the first terms. So I'm going to combine my coefficients. So negative 12 minus 3 more, well that's going to be negative 15. And then I'm going to bring on down my x. Okay? And then my final term that doesn't contain an x would be this 18 right here. This lonely single 18 has nothing to combine to. So I'm just going to bring it on down. And guess what, you guys? My answer is in standard form now, which means this will be my answer. So my final answer is 8x to the third minus 10x squared minus 15x plus 18. That's all, folks.